Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my Steven Universe Future vlog for episode 2, Guidance. So in this episode, Steven is trying to help out the gems who have acclimated to Earth culture. He sees that they're kind of working these human jobs, but only in the things that they're used to, the comforts that they are used to doing when they worked for Homeworld. Um, because of Amethyst guiding them to that. He decides he wants them to try out new things instead, things that they wouldn't necessarily be good at or used to. And basically everything goes wrong. So once again, I'm going to go through my negatives first and then my positives because I'd rather end this video off on a high note. So my first negative. This kind of ties in with the last one. It just seems like everything is just going way too smoothly, like in terms of how it naturally is before Steven fucks with everything. Everything is just going way too smoothly, and it just feels wrong. It just feels like way too that all of this little homeschool, um, everything just went off without a hitch, and that just feel. I mean, aside from Jasper, and that just feels really just poorly handled. Um, And again, if there were hitches, we should have been shown it and not just kind of, oh, we can imply that there were some. Because there's not even any implication in the show that there were some. It's just kind of a headcanon at this point that there might have been. But moving on from that, because I already talked about that last time, my second negative. Steven trying to force the gems to do stuff that they don't want to do and aren't ready for is completely out of character for him. Like, I get the idea that he wanted them to try out new things and kind of move away from what they did when they were, well, what they were made for doing with Homeworld. I get that, but him trying to force them to do that and going against Amethyst's entire, well, everything she was doing just feels really out of character, like something he wouldn't normally do. He might suggest they try out some other new things, but he wouldn't force them into it, and especially with things that would put people at risk, like flying a plane with someone else in it, or operating a roller coaster that, if crashes, could be life or death. Yeah, Steven isn't that stupid. Normally, he's not that stupid, and it's just like seeing him, especially like after all the development he's gone through throughout the seasons. Like this would be season 1 Steven in terms of his intelligence, in terms of his character progression. With all of the progression and development he's had over the seasons, this feels completely out of character for him now. And my third negative is that there's a scene from here that feels like it blatantly rips off Quicksilver from the X-Men movies. Um, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. There's a part where Smoky Quartz gains like this super speed ability because of Steven's new glowing ability. Um, and they're what they do with it is that they run up to the roller coaster that's about to crash with all the people on it. They take a picture with, I forgot whose phone it was, someone's phone, um, and then saves them. And in the X-Men movies, this is kind of what Quicksilver does. Quicksilver, while running about at super speed and all, while saving everyone, does these goofy little things like take pictures of himself and uh, snacks on stuff, moves things around all willy-nilly. Um, and rather than a homage to that, it feels more like a just rip-off. It doesn't feel like it's just paying homage to it to me. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it feels like it's a little too much. And that, by the way, is a minor nitpick. I'm not saying it's like a big issue with the episode. So keep that in mind. When I'm talking about my negatives and positives, I'm just talking overall. Um, with the negatives, the biggest thing is definitely Steven forcing the other gems to try new things when they're not ready for it. That, again, it just seems way too out of character for him. at this point in the series. But let's get into some positives. I love that the Rubies are serving Nanaflaw as her as her bodyguard team. I think that's hilarious, and it just works really well. The one ice gem who is super creepily obsessed with human screams is freaking hilarious, and I love her. um, I'm sure she's pretty popular with the fans too, but she's fucking hilarious. Just the entire running gag in this episode about her being creepily obsessed with human screams is just wonderfully hilarious, and I love it. Smoky Quartz, always good to see Smoky Quartz. I love their design. I love their just how they're used. Um, and I enjoyed them through this episode. I do like that this pink glow power that Steven is unlocking seems to be a recurring thing. It's not just a one-off, or it's not just going to be, oh, every now and then randomly strewn about. No, it seems to be an actively recurring thing. Um, and my last positive is I really love, and this is the biggest positive by far, I love what they did for Amethyst's character arc in this. By her using her own past experiences as part of this guidance program she's doing to help the other gems, that is so fantastic for her character arc. Not only just in terms of it's a natural progression of where she's come and everything, but it just works so well and feels believable. Um, it's sad that it's one of the few things in this so far that really does feel that believable, but still. Overall, I would say this episode is definitely better than the first one, than Little Homeschool. Like, not even a question. Um, but it did still have a couple issues, and it does feel like it's still going in the kind of direction that I don't want it to, you could say, especially with Steven's character. But overall, I did enjoy it more, and I hope the episodes we get are more like this, or even better, than rather than more like the first episode. But yeah, that's about all I have for episode 2 guidance. So tell me down in the comments below what you thought of this episode, and thank you so much for tuning in. So for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.